Okay, today we are doing a rebuild challenge where we are trying to get players who have never won a ring before a ring in the NBA. So what we're going to do, we got a fantasy draft, we pick a random team, fantasy draft, they draft it for us, and then we trade for players that have never won a ring before. And just so you guys know, it is players that aren't rookies, you know? They have to have played 4 years in the NBA. So players like Jason Tatum, Trae Young, Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr., we're not allowed to use those players. We have to use veteran players to get ourselves. Just before the video begins, I did steal this idea from King of the Fourth Quarter, so go check him out. I'm sure he doesn't need a shout out from me, and I'm sure you guys all know who he is already, but if you guys haven't, go look him up on YouTube. He is actually the YouTube GOAT. He's a big inspiration to me. Go check him out. I suggest you do that very, very much. Here we go. We've got to pick ourselves up a random team for this fantasy draft, and we get the Los Angeles Lakers. I've never seen a fantasy draft where the Lakers get a top 5 pick, and today hasn't changed anything. Like I said, the Lakers never get a top 5 pick. They've got the 26th pick. That's a bit rough. So who's here? Butler, Middleton, Walker. All right. I wouldn't mind taking like Kemba or Jimmy. Jimmy's decent. Or Chris Middleton. We can pick any 5 of those guys because they're all veteran players. They should be good. But we got to simulate the draft here. I'll see you guys when we have our roster all sorted by the computer. So we've got ourselves Butler and Porzingis. Porzingis we can use. He's been in the league for 4+ years. That's great. Do we have any players that we actually cannot use? We got all veteran players, which means we don't have to actually trade away anyone. So Jimmy Butler and Porzingis, those two guys we're probably going to keep unless we can trade for, a all-star, superstar player. What we do need is a starting caliber point guard because we don't have a very good point guard. I would like to try and pick up Chris Paul if possible, and then maybe we'll have to probably give up Lou Will, Al Horford, and all that, and Norman Powell. Norman Powell we can move to the 3, right? We can move him to the 3 and he goes up. Yes, he does. Awesome. Just to get Mike Conley a little bit more trade value, I move him to the shooting guard here. I was saying with Danny Green, I'll give him a little bit more trade value. We do also have to get rid of stupid contracts. So who's the stupidest contract we need to get rid of? Mike Conley, Al Horford we definitely want to move on from. Danny Green's contracts, Mason Plumlee's, Kyle Anderson. So we've got a few guys here that are under some stupid ass contracts, which isn't exactly the greatest. So I was looking over the scouting for the teams, and the best point guard available is either Chris Paul or Russell Westbrook, and I think I'll probably go after Chris Paul, only because you don't have to give up as much assets. So if we go get Chris Paul, what assets do they want? They want Alec Burks and JaVale McGee. Okay, I can find that. I can do trades for those guys and try and get them, I guess. So we can get Chris Paul just by giving up Mike Conley and 2 firsts. I mean, we could have done it with 1 first, but I don't want to give up the 2021 because that's got 3.5 star value, so I didn't want to give that up. So I'm getting Chris Paul as our starting point guard on our team. So we've got Chris Paul, Lou Will, Jimmy Butler, Porzingis, and Mason Plumlee. So I would like to move Al Horford and someone for a center if possible. So I'll look for I think the best available center that we could actually trade for that isn't considered untouchable is Karl Anthony Towns. So I'm going to try and get some assets to trade for Karl Anthony Towns, I think. They want Anthony Davis and JaVale McGee. So if I pick up JaVale McGee and try and trade for a couple of firsts from teams that are down the bottom of the power rankings, I should be okay. Why is our pick worth 3.5 stars if we're the projected 4 seed? I don't get it, but if we could pick up, say, like Sacramento's, Minnesota's, and Atlanta's or Pelicans first round picks, hopefully we then can get Karl Anthony Towns. LaMarcus Aldridge I think will be alright for now. We could use him as like a gateway to get someone else because we can move him to the power forward and then we can trade him and say Harrison Barnes. See if JaVale wants to come up now. No, we can get Montrezl Harrell though. A lot of teams want Montrez. I can tell you that. Dwight Howard, I mean, I'd prefer Rudy Gobert. That gives us a starting center. Tell you what. Rudy Gobert, I like that. That gives us a starting center because he hasn't won a ring and he fits our criteria very, very nicely. Gobert, Porzingis, Butler, Paul, and Lou Will. This team is looking very good, but like at the same time, it's not the greatest. Alright, I'm going to do this trade for Zubac for Danny Green. We have to swap first, but this one it's the exact same value, so it's kind of worth it. And Zubac we're going to use to try and get JaVale McGee because he's been difficult to trade for. And finally, we've come to an agreement. We have to give up an unprotected first, but we get Detroit's lottery protected first, I guess. It's decent, but we also have to give up Alec Burks and we take on Myers Leonard's contract, which I'm alright with, but we've got ourselves JaVale McGee, which hopefully is one step closer to getting ourselves Karl Anthony Towns. I'm going to trade here for Montrezl Harrell. I'm sorry that you guys didn't see me trade for Jarrett Allen. I gave up Lou Will for Jarrett Allen, basically a straight swap. So what we're going to do is move Montrezl Porzingis to the 4, and then have put him at a center backup. As you guys could probably see, I did the same with Rudy Gobert, just because so that the trade value goes up a little bit more, because I really would like to get Karl Anthony Towns on this team. I can get New York's first round pick that has more trade value for Norman Powell and Thad Young. Sure, I'll do that. So if we move Thad Young and Langston Galloway, we've got a lot of bad contracts on this team. Could we pick up? I mean, he does go up in trade value if you move him there, so sure, we'll go Iggy. Although he's already won a ring, so we can't keep him on our team. Frick, I forgot that's the challenge. And we can pick up DJ Augustine, I guess. I mean, I guess that's alright. We get a first round pick with that. Oh, yes! Yes! The trade went through. We got ourselves Karl Anthony Towns by giving up Gobert, Harrell, McGee, 3 first. We got ourselves Karl Anthony Towns. That is so good. I love that. All right, we got Karl Anthony Towns, Porzingis, Butler, and Chris Paul. We just need a better starting shooting guard, but we've definitely got enough assets to do that. That's awesome. Terrence Ross, I'll bring him onto the team just because he's got a little bit more cap. I'll do that. I'll bring him onto the team, move him to the 3, and hope that a better starting caliber shooting guard comes up, because I would very much appreciate it if we could get a starting shooting guard. Karis LeVert, not really. Okay, hear me out. If we get Patrick Beverley and stuff back again, if we move those 2 guys to the shooting guard, I mean, that trade that we just did was pointless then, I guess. So if we can move Pat Bev and DJ Augustine, could we please pick up a better shooting guard? Drew Holiday is good. I like that a lot. That Drew Holiday deal, I think, is probably the best one we're going to get offered. Plus, we also get Cristiano Felicio. I mean, and we just traded Drew Holiday for Zach LaVine and a first. So we've got ourselves Zach LaVine as our starting shooting guard. I mean, Zach LaVine hasn't got a ring, and he has been in the league for 6 seasons now. So yes, we can bring in Zach LaVine. So we've got a starting 5 I'm happy with. Now we just need to figure out a bench properly now. We can get our guy JJ Redick a ring. Yeah, I want to get our man JJ a ring. That would be awesome if he could. He got close in Orlando, but now we're going to try and get him a ring here. So now we need to find a point guard, because we've got a shooting guard or a center. If we can find a center to come off of our bench, that would be nice. I mean, Isaiah Thomas could be our point guard off of the bench. So we could bring Isaiah Thomas off the bench, but that defense is not going to be looking nice. So if we go Chandler and Isaiah Thomas, could we please pick up a better point guard that we could use? I mean, I did see George Hill. Jalen Brunson's too young. I think George Hill would be the best for us. Has he won anything? No, he hasn't. He isn't an NBA champion, so let's go. We can bring George Hill off of our bench, and I'm quite happy with Glenn Robinson III coming off of our bench as well. So what do we need now? A center and a power forward if we can. So we'll move Ed Davis and Metu to the power forwards and see if we can pick up a center or a power forward here. All right, I found this trade for Noah Vonleh and Cristiano Felicio. Noah Vonleh is the best available that we can use, but we can play him as a power forward center if we would like. So I kind of want to do that. Okay, rotation for this first season. I'm sorry if it's been a bit long doing all trades and stuff, but we got Chris Paul, Zach LaVine, Jimmy Butler, Kristaps Porzingis, and Karl Anthony Towns. We've also got JJ Redick, George Hill, Noah Vonleh, and Glenn Robinson coming off of our bench. Karl Anthony Towns, Chris Paul, Jimmy Butler as our scoring options, and we have a 4-star system with perimeter centric. We are, of course, the projected 4 seed, because that doesn't change until you play a game. So we get ourselves Karl Anthony Towns and Chris Paul as our 2 all-stars. By the way, Giannis and Luka were captains. We go 62-60, and Luka won the MVP. Zion rookie, Devontae Graham 6-man, Kawhi Leonard defensive, back on the Raptors. All right, Luka most improved, and Frank Vogel coach of the year. We do get Karl Anthony Towns all NBA first team, which is dope. Do we get any other Lakers? We do get Kristaps Porzingis all NBA third team, so let's go. And do we get any Lakers? We don't get any defensive Lakers. Our leading scorer, of course, was Karl Anthony Towns with 26 points, 13 boards, and 4 assists. Chris Paul 17, 4, and 10. Absolutely having a field day. 16, 10, and 1 for Kristaps. 16, 5, and 5 for Jimmy, and 16, 3, and 2 for Zach LaVine. Our bench, JJ Redick coming in big off the bench. Same with George Hill, Glenn Robinson, and Noah Vonleh. Offensively, our team was 3rd. Defensively, we were 2nd, and differential, we were only 1st, 0.1 points. First round here against the Rockets. Let's see what goes down. If we lose the first 2 games, no, we don't. So I was about to say, if we lose the first 2 games, I was going to change the rotation around. But we're up 3-0, so we should be all good. Oh, no, we lose 1 game, at least. All right. And we go through to the second round in 5 games, where we're taking on the 5th-seeded Mavs, who have De'Aaron Fox, Chris Middleton, and Yusuf Nurkic, Niko Mirotic, and Bogdan Bogdanovic coming off the bench. We're up 2-0 against the Mavs, up 3-0, and I thought we were going to sweep them, but we didn't. Oh, okay. Okay, we win in 6, and we're taking on 2-seeded Grizzlies, who have Buddy Hield, Giannis, and Mitchell Robinson. All right, that defensive front court, that's not scary at all. We're up 3-0, and we sweep our way to the NBA Finals, where we're taking on the Luka Doncic-led Bulls, who have Kyle Lowry, Al Horford, and Mason Plumlee. Let's see what goes on here. Hopefully, we can pull out a dub. If not, that wouldn't be nice. We're up 3-1. Uh-oh. Yes, we do. We win in 6 games. Let's go. Karl Anthony Towns Finals MVP. That's awesome. We win in the first season. That's awesome. Oh, do I do another season? Yeah. Oh, should I do another season? You know what? See if we can go back to back. I'll do another season. All right. We don't have a first round pick this season, which I mean makes sense because we did trade them all away for Karl Anthony Towns. If we can pick up Michael Williams, that would be nice. Do we have a good trainer? We do, so we're all good there. Like I said, we definitely did not have any picks, and we don't have any team player options qualifying. We don't have anyone. Do we even need to re-sign anyone? Don't we need to re-sign anyone? We don't. We've got our full team back this season. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got our entire team back. No, we don't have Noah Vonleh. Sorry, we don't have Noah Vonleh, which means we need a power forward, small forward, unless we can bring back Noah here. I don't think we can. So I'm just going to pick up Marvin Williams here, who should be a decent player to pick up here. And we also need to bring back Glenn Robinson, if possible. Problem is, we can't afford him, so we're going to have to go after a Jeff Green. I mean, we could also go after Justin Holiday, which is, I mean, makes a little bit more sense considering how the age gap. So yeah, we should be okay if we get Justin. We should be all right now. Here we go, 3 training camps here. We're going to go give it to untapped potential to Chris Paul, just because I'd like to see him not regress. So, and then we'll also give it to Zach LaVine if he would like to get a bit better for us, and I'll give it to JJ Redick so he doesn't regress, because I forgot that our bench is kind of old. For this second season, not much has changed. We've got the exact same starting 5. We have George Hill, JJ Redick, Justin Holiday, and Marvin Williams coming off of our bench. Kyle Towns, Chris Paul, and Jimmy Butler scoring options, and we got 4-star with a perimeter centric, and we are a projected 4 seed just like last year. We get Karl Anthony Towns, Kristaps Porzingis, and Chris Paul on the all-star team. So we got Karl Anthony Towns on starter for Team Steph, and Kristaps as a reserve for Team Steph, and we've got Chris Paul as a reserve for Team Luka. We go 54 and 28. Luka is once again the MVP. We don't get anyone else. Extra coach of the year. I messed that pronunciation up so bad. Karl Anthony Towns is all NBA first team. And do we get any other Lakers? We do get Kristaps Porzingis all NBA third team. Karl Anthony Towns went off with almost 30 points, almost 15 boards tonight, and 5 assists tonight. Shot 50% from the field, 40% from 3, and 82% from the line. So he's absolutely killing it. 18, 11, and 1 for Kristaps. 17, 5, and 5 for Jimmy, and 17, 4, and 9 for Chris Paul. 16, 3, and 3 for Zach LaVine, who is also a very good player. JJ Redick, George Hill, Justin Holiday, Marvin Williams. Points per game, we were first. Defensively, though, we were alright. We were top 6, I guess, and we were the best differential. Here we go, first round against the Nugs. See what goes on here. I'm thinking about it now. I probably should have traded my entire team because they all had a ring. Just thinking about it, I probably should have traded my entire team. That would have made sense. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, alright? I'm sorry. We do beat the Denver Nuggets, and we're taking on the Utah Jazz in the second round. I'm really pissed at myself that I didn't trade away my entire team because they all technically had won a ring. Oh, I failed this. Fuck me. We're taking on the Clippers, by the way, in the second round, who have DeJounte, Clay, and AD. Alright, this is not going to be fun. This team is decent that we're going up against, but we managed to sweep our way into the finals again, where we're taking on the Bulls, who have added Brook Lopez. Let's see what goes on here. Could we go through the fun? No, we can't go through the playoffs without losing a game. Game 7? Yes, they do. And we go back-to-back. And Karl Anthony Towns is again finals MVP. So I guess we got 2 rings for all the players that haven't got themselves a ring yet. But that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys all have enjoyed. If you did, please be sure to hit the like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. It's amazing the amount of support we're getting right now. We're getting so close to 1,000 subscribers. We're about 100 away. If we could hit that 1,000 mark by the end of May, start of June. I did say the end of June, but I think we can do it before the end of May. So if you guys haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. If you made it this far, why not subscribe? But that's going to do it, lads. Hopefully you guys all have a good rest of the day. I'll catch you guys in the next video.